Why do you wake up every morning, go to work, stay busy all day, and still feel like you're going nowhere? You're tired. You're trying. You're doing what everyone told you to do, and yet, nothing changes. No real progress, no real freedom, just the same cycle, over and over again. So let me ask you something honestly. What if the problem isn't how hard you work, but how you think about money? Because here's the truth most people never hear. Working hard does not make you rich. In fact, for millions of people, it keeps them exactly where they are. And this idea isn't new. It's one of the core messages from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, a book that completely changed how people understand money, and more importantly, how they misunderstand it. From a young age, most of us were taught the same formula. Study hard, get good grades, find a stable job. Work hard, save money, and everything will be fine. It sounds logical, safe, responsible. But here's the problem. This formula was not designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to make you stable. And there is a big difference between stability and freedom. Let me break this down in a way that might change how you see your life. When you work for money, you are trading your time for income. Every hour you work gets you paid. That sounds fair. But there's a hidden trap in this system. Your time is limited. No matter how hard you work, there are only so many hours in a day, which means your income is capped. You can work longer, harder, take extra shifts, but you're still inside the same system. Now compare that to how wealthy people think. They don't work for money. They build systems that make money work for them. That's the difference between an employee mindset and an investor mindset. And here's where things get uncomfortable. Most people are not poor because they don't work hard. They're poor because they were taught the wrong rules. Think about this. Have you ever received money and immediately spent it? Maybe on something you didn't really need. Something that gave you a short moment of satisfaction, but didn't change anything in your life. That's not an accident. That's programming. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Kiyosaki explains a concept that almost no one talks about in school. The difference between assets and liabilities. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out of your pocket. Simple, right? But here's the shocking part. Most people think they own assets, when in reality, they own liabilities. A big house you can barely afford is not an asset. An expensive car with monthly payments is not an asset. Anything that takes money from you is not making you richer. And this is where the cycle begins. You work hard, you earn money, you spend it on things that look like success, but actually keep you stuck. So you need to work more, earn more, spend more, and the cycle continues. This is what Kiyosaki calls the rat race. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize they're in it. Let me give you a simple scenario. Imagine two people. The first person works a full-time job. Every month, they earn money and spend it on bills, rent, food, and maybe some entertainment. At the end of the month, nothing is left. The second person also works, but instead of spending everything, they take a small portion of their income and invest it. Maybe in a skill, maybe in a small business, maybe in something that can grow over time. At first, there's no big difference. But over time, everything changes. Because one person is working for money, and the other is building something that will eventually work for them. This is where patience becomes power. Most people want results immediately. They want to see change fast, so they spend their money on comfort instead of growth. And that's why they stay stuck. Here's a line you need to remember. It's not how much money you make, It's how much you keep and how hard that money works for you. Let that sink in, because someone can earn a high salary and still be broke. And someone else can earn less, but build real wealth over time. Now, let's go deeper. Why do people stay in this cycle, even when they know something is wrong? Fear. Fear of losing money. Fear of failure. Fear of trying something new. So they stay where it feels safe. A job, a salary, a routine. But safety comes at a cost. It limits your growth. And here's something most people don't want to hear. Your job will pay you just enough to stay, but not enough to be free. Because if you become truly independent, you no longer need the system, so the system keeps you dependent. Now, don't misunderstand this. Working a job is not wrong, but relying only on a job is the risk. Because if your only source of income disappears, what happens? Everything stops. That's why wealthy people focus on multiple sources of income. They don't depend on one stream. They build several, slowly, strategically. And this is not about becoming rich overnight. This is about changing how you think, because everything starts there. If you still believe that working harder is the only way, you will stay in the same loop. But if you start asking different questions, how can I make money without trading my time? How can I build something that grows? How can I turn my income into assets? Then everything begins to shift. Let me give you a real example you might relate to. Imagine you earn money from your job. Instead of spending all of it, you take a small percentage and invest it in learning a valuable skill. That skill allows you to create something, maybe content, maybe a service, maybe a digital product. At first, it makes nothing. Then, a little. Then, more. And one day, it starts generating income without you being there every second. That's the moment everything changes. Because now, you're no longer only working for money. Money is starting to work for you. And that's the shift most people never make. Not because it's impossible, but because it requires patience, discipline, and a different mindset. Here's another truth. Being busy is not the same as being productive. You can work all day, feel exhausted, and still not move forward. Because movement is not always progress. Progress comes from direction. And if your direction is wrong, working harder only takes you further away. So instead of asking, how can I work more? Start asking, what am I working towards? Because if the answer is just to pay bills, you're stuck in survival mode. And survival mode never builds wealth. It only maintains it. This is why financial education matters, not just earning money, but understanding it, how it flows, how it grows, how it disappears. And this is exactly what Rich Dad, Poor Dad tries to teach. Not just how to make money, but how to think differently about it. Because once your thinking changes, your actions follow. And once your actions change, your results eventually change. So let me ask you something. If you continue living exactly the same way you are right now, working the same job, spending the same way, thinking the same thoughts, where will you be in 5 years? The answer to that question is the direction of your life. And the good news? You can change that direction. Not overnight, not instantly, but step by step, start small. Learn something new. Invest a little. Think differently. Because wealth is not built in one big moment. It's built in small decisions, repeated over time. And the earlier you start, the more powerful it becomes. So the next time you feel stuck, don't just blame your situation. Question your system. Question your habits. Question your beliefs. Because maybe, just maybe, the reason you're still struggling is not because you're not working hard enough, but because you've been working in the wrong way. If this made you see things differently, leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you want to break out of the cycle, build real income, and understand money on a deeper level, don't forget to like and subscribe, and share this video with your friends, because most people are trapped in this system without even realizing it. And I'll see you in the next video.